time consuming, and it never ever ends. Whereas what Bruno's done is more like building an income stream through building a flow of new income. So there's never such a thing as completely passive income. You might need to turn on the tap and turn it off or something, but if you build a smart online business, what you can do is set things up once, and then the income just flows to you, kind of gravity fed. If you set things up in the right place, in the right way, with a good offer that customers like, and you just have it there online where people are searching for it, then the money just flows. And that's what I've been doing for 8 years now, entirely on Amazon, just putting firstly physical products, more recently digital products for sale on Amazon, and every month Amazon pays me. So my business is much more like a pipeline. And that's the difference between actively working for your income or having a passive income stream. And the holy grail is always the goal of having passive income as much as possible. And it really frees up your time. It lets you scale it as much as you want, and lets you have a much better quality of life. So it's not just about how many dollars you earn, it's how hard you have to work to earn them. And you could either be a bucket carrier forevermore, working hard for someone else, or in a business that's like a service that you might own, but you've still got to bill those hours out to get paid. Or you could build a pipeline and then get to kick back and relax and enjoy the flow coming to you without you having to work. So today I'll share with you a model that's this latter model, the pipeline model, and something that anyone can follow to set up a new income stream on the internet. You only need to create these products once, but you can sell them again and again and again. And once you've got this up and running the right way, then you can potentially have money coming in while you sleep. So that's pretty nice. And you could be on holiday or anywhere in the world. And it's pretty cool. So I know you can do this. It's the kind of business that anyone could start. You don't need any technical skills or experience, or special skills. You don't need to have anything already for sale or know what you want to sell yet. You don't need your own audience or email list. You don't need to build websites. You don't need to run Facebook ads. You don't need 60 hours a week to do this. You don't need to sell on the phone to people. It's pretty attractive, I think. So I'm going to share with you exactly what I've been doing. Now, who's ready to learn about this new model? Let's see who's with me, and pop a yes in the chat box if you are ready to learn about this. Who's ready for a new pipeline income stream? Brilliant, lots of you, good stuff. All right, we'll move on. It's quite nice if when I, stop and have a little sort of check in on the chat box if you're all there with me, and then I know I'm not talking into a big void. It's quite nice for me, but good for you as well, because it'll kind of keep you more engaged as we go. So, bit of small details, the fine print of this. The thing I'm about to show you is generating me 20 to 30,000 US dollars profit a month, and I don't know how you're going to go. I don't know what your work ethic's like, how you live your life. I know my results have been really good, and this might not be typical. So this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This is something that I've built up over a while, and I'll show you the system that I've used to build up what I do. And it gets real results to me, and if you do real work, get those results, then that's great. So when I'm sharing case studies and examples with you, I'll show some examples of some amazing results. These results are not always typical. Student to student who might start doing this as well will get totally, varied results across the board. Some better than me, some not as good as me. But the only thing that's certain is if you don't put in any work, you won't get any results. But I believe if you do put the effort in and follow a system like this, it's a 100% viable system for online learning. So that's the small print, just to make sure you're really clear that no work, no pay, even though you only have to do the work once. Setting up these online businesses, but it does require something from your side as well as what I can teach you and how to do it. So 7 or so years ago, when my newborn baby was very noisy and keeping me awake at night, and I had a toddler in the house, and I'd gone back to my day job, and they've been really good to me. They put me on a nice contract and nice flexible hours and let me kind of juggle things as much as anyone can, but it was such hard work because unless you're earning the full-time work equivalent, this was not that much coming in. I was working for the government here in New Zealand, and I was paying the nanny to look after the children during the day, which was good. But it was really hard going. I was getting by, but we certainly weren't making any progress. There was a mortgage sitting there, kind of not moving. My energy levels were just permanently zapped. I was frazzled. I felt like I wasn't doing a great job at work, and sometimes I'd be coming home from work in the evenings and the kids would be asleep. I just kind of missed them entirely. So wasn't terribly fun or satisfying or making much progress, and it was just really hard actually. I was absolutely exhausted, and I was trying to think, how could I do something differently and change this, and try and up the hours or find someone to do a timeshare with me manage me. All these things were like patches, not the real solution. But one day, the nanny, who was lovely and who looked after my children, sent me a message, and she was down at the beach, and she sent me this exact photo of my daughter at the beach with a friend, and it changed everything. So I was in my cubicle at work and plugging away at some spreadsheet, no doubt, in my suit, and not probably having all that much fun. And she was down at the beach having a blast in the sun and the sand and waves. So I was just sort of really shaken by this. It's like, well, what's going on here? Why am I here, and why is she there, and why am I not with my daughter having fun at the beach? And this is all back to friends. Something had to change, and it was a real just jolt of knowing this was time to do something different. So I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do or how I was going to figure it out, but that was it. That was the moment where it was time to make a change. So I got to work online researching things I could do and really dug into opportunities. And I had a friend whose husband had been selling on Amazon. So on my little mission of finding all the things that could work and could be done from a small town in New Zealand, discovered the Amazon platform and how that works. And I really liked how it's a big established company. It's not some kind of trendy social media thing. It's not techy. Lots of good things about it. I won't go into all that now. But when I understood how it worked, and that's where all the customers were, and Amazon did most of the hard work for you, I thought this was the one for me. And it was just that moment that this is the one. So I looked at so many different, weird and wonderful online schemes between deciding I needed to do something and finding Amazon. There was the dreaded binary options trading webinar I watched. Ooh, that's not for me. There were, things, just post 17 short YouTube videos a day and build your audience for 6 years, and then you'll maybe be able to sell something to them later. And that sounds pretty ghastly too. And with children in the house, I just couldn't be on the phone all day. There was like quite a few limiting factors. I didn't have lots of cash to put into getting started. I didn't live somewhere where there was lots of foot traffic, or I could do something physical at home. Didn't have space, didn't live where there's any people. Welcome to New Zealand. So it had to be online, and it had to replace most of my income. Not quite all of it, because I wouldn't have childcare as much, but I was really serious about it being a quality, decent sized business. So off I went. So I really wanted a good lifestyle. I wanted time with my children. I didn't really need millions of dollars sitting around. I just wanted something that let me have a good lifestyle and, do a good job with the children and enjoy myself a bit more. So I started figuring out how selling on Amazon works. So got a bit of help, paid for some courses, paid for some coaching. And 9 months after starting, I quit my day job. And within 2 years, in fact it was about 18 months, I sold my first Amazon brand for over $1 million. And then since then I started and sold another brand, which was for a few $100,000. And it's obviously not typical, and not everybody chooses to sell those businesses off. I just did because I had good cash offers, and it was really appealing. Like, that was like a retirement check. The first one I sold paid off the mortgage and let us move to where I live now in the Southern Alps in the South Island of New Zealand, in this beautiful resort town. So that changed everything for us financially. We went and lived overseas for 3 months with the kids before the eldest started school. So it's not typical, but it just shows you what's possible. And my values are definitely around having freedom and the ability to travel and the ability to spend time with my family and just have a good lifestyle. So while it's great income and serious income, it's all for a purpose. It's not just to sit on it and roll around in piles of cash. We really just want to live well. So I'm not actually going to share with you much about the product side of Amazon today, even though that's how I got started, because a couple of years ago, I sort of pivoted into a different part of Amazon, which I think is actually even better. So it's faster, it's easier, it takes less cash up front. You don't need to deal with suppliers in other parts of the world. You don't need to put stuff on ships and hope that they get in on time, and that there's no strike in an LA port, and that there's no new tariff, and that nothing gets held up in an inspection by border control, and that the Amazon shelf space ample for your delivery. I mean, it just goes on and on, all the things you used to have to juggle doing products. And products are still fine, but this is way, way easier. So just a little screenshot of what I've been doing on Amazon. January to mid-November 2021, I made $227,000 profit. That's not sales, but royalties to me from Amazon. And that's not even all of it. That's not even the there's a whole other format of these digital assets which sells on top of that. So I can pretty happily live off that. Thanks very much. Thanks Amazon for opening up a whole new game within their big platform. And so on top of the, I'll just see if you can zoom in on here. You can see it's not very big font there, but my screen's also quite small. But hopefully you can see in April 2022, I was getting thousands of dollars, 13,000. 5,000, in March, 14,000, 5,000, another 1,000, lots of little dollops of hundreds in February, an $18,000 payday, and that's just on one side, that's coming into my New Zealand bank account there. And then over from the Amazon and Audible, getting thousands more on top of that, so $4,000 here coming in May 2022. So this is all, recent results, typical months for me now, a couple of years after starting this, and the first year it picked up pretty quickly, and I'm now just sort of running a portfolio basically on Amazon. So it's much more like an investment. I've created these digital assets once, and then Amazon pays me as they keep on selling. I don't need to reproduce the digital assets, they just sit there on Amazon, and Amazon delivers them to customers on their side. So it's a much more passive way of earning, and compared to traditional investments, buying a house, you might invest $100,000, which would be on the light end given current house prices, as your deposit, and then you might make $3,000, $5,000, $8,000 a year if it's fully tenanted, if there's no problems with maintenance or vacancy and all those other dramas that can run, taxes changing, government schemes changing. Bonds have been rather dismal in recent times, so I don't think anyone could live off bonds at the moment. You'd need millions invested to have enough coming off bonds, just pretty much nothing happening there. Stocks, we had a nice boom at the start of COVID, and with all the governments printing lots of new money, that shot up, but really quite in the red at the time of this recording for where I am, and it's risky. You can't live off there's no kind of ongoing income stream. You want to grow it. It's like a nest egg. It's not like a cash flow business that just generates income that you can use. And you need to have a lot tied up to get a meaningful out, because those percentage yields are so low. Mutual funds, again, pretty dismal returns at the moment. Maybe if you're a really sharp investor and you spend all day studying stocks and reading analyst reports and thinking what to do, you might get 10% or 30%. But most people don't make that, and when it turns south, you can lose the lot. So it's risky and takes skill and takes time and takes lots of cash. So pretty hard. Amazon digital assets, what I've experienced, and this is obviously my own experience, not maybe it's typical, but if I spend $1,000 to create each asset, it can make $500 to $1,000 per month. So $12,000 a year potentially for $1,000 in. So that's pretty good. I'd do as many of those if I could if I knew how to make those consistently, which I now do. So I'll show you in a moment a hack where you can even get the income producing digital assets for free. So who wants to know more about how this works? You can see in the chat box. Keep you jumping in. So pop a yes in the chat box if you want to know exactly what this income producing digital asset is. Brilliant. Okay, so Kindle is the answer. So these Kindle ebooks are little digital files that I upload. I haven't written them myself. I've never written a word of these books. The competition to sell them is really low, but the volume's really high and growing. It's really easy to make the sale, so a few dollars each. People don't overthink it, and they're buying a lot of books. It's almost completely passive. You just need to pick the book topic and get a writer to write it for you, and that's easy. When you know how. You don't need your own website, you don't need to run Facebook ads or anything, it's not technical, you don't need to deal with publishers, you don't need to have anyone approve your book, you just commission it from the writer and then upload it. Really quick, really easy to get started, really low cost to get started, and I reckon it's about the best way I know to make money online right now. So there's already 1,000 people making over $100,000 a year by selling ebooks on Amazon, these Kindle ebooks. So not everyone who starts will be successful, but I'm here to give you the maximum chance of success if you put in the effort. So the big thing that's probably on your mind now, but is that you don't know how to write books, that must take ages if you have to write these books, but you never write these books yourself. There's a whole industry out there of ghostwriters who, for around $1,000, sort of a ballpark figure there, will write a whole book for you really quickly in a few weeks, whoompa, done, and you can upload it and sell it, and you own that book, they don't own it. So there's a whole world out there of these professional writers who are looking for work, and they do all the research and write it professionally and give you a document to upload a few weeks later. And they're quite big books. Mine are, solid. It could be a proper book if you printed it all out. Amazon actually does let you print them out, and they print those on demand and ship them to customers if a customer orders your book in paperback format too. So there's a few things to get right with this model, obviously. You need to follow these 3 secrets that I've discovered and how I do it. So the Kindle's basically low competition and high demand. So the income there is really, really attractive and easy to chase. You don't need to write the books yourself, and you want to use another little hack as your book goes live to make sure even more people see and buy your book. So let's go through those, because I really think there's never been a better opportunity to set up potential passive income than doing these ebooks. This Kindle game is so quick and easy, and it's very processed and kind of steps are the same each time, which makes it quite easy just to get on autopilot and run alongside whatever commitments you've got in life. It's not hugely time consuming, it's not very expensive to get started. And the good news is that the trend in the market is really in our favour, because since the pandemic and people getting more used to using speakers and listening to podcasts, more people are buying ebooks than ever before. Libraries and bookstores were closed for a long time, and so people just got the hang of ordering ebooks, and they're really cheap and hours of entertainment or learning or whatever they buy their books about. And they're very cost effective and instant. You don't need to go and get the books, you can read the reviews, click a button and you're there. So people are looking for escapism more than ever before. So it might be a book about homeschooling with children, it could be a book about training a puppy, it could be a book about hiring a virtual team, it could be on domestic stuff, how to, grow container plants or something. Or it could be, what's another example? I don't know, those hobbies are always really good ones. And 1 in 7 readers now are happy to buy their books in ebook format, which is a huge jump, and it's still growing. So 9 out of 10 of all of the ebooks in the world are sold on Kindle, which is why I just stick with Amazon. I don't bother with Apple Books or any of these other platforms that sell books as well. Huge number, 240 million books a month sold, ebooks. And anyone can load their books up on Amazon, so there's no kind of barrier or editor or approval needed. You just load them up on your Kindle account, which is free to open. You don't need to know anything about writing or publishing. That's a big thing that puts a lot of people off, and that's really why this is such an uncrowded opportunity. Everybody else out there thinks you need to write them yourself, or that when they only sell for a couple of dollars each, you can't make any good money off it. So don't let the word get out, just quietly get on and do this. And I'm really happy to share it with you. So there's 1,000 authors earning $100,000 a year from doing this, and it's growing really rapidly. So the opportunity is really hot right now, and the competition is really low. So if you have a look on products on Amazon, some of these topics can be really competitive. If you were going to go and buy a baby crib on Amazon, there's hundreds of them, over 500, but there's only 29 books on how to get your baby to sleep, and those new parents are very motivated buyers to find out how to get their baby to sleep. So much lower competition, much easier purchasing for the customer, much lower cost for the customer. So the products are simple and instant, and basically no returns, no shipping. It's just like nothing to deal with from your side, and that's what makes it so attractive. So the platform that you load your books on is called KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. And it's free to open an account, and there's a particular way to do it so that it's all set up right. And then you can just upload as many books as you like, and 5 minutes later it can be for sale, selling in the next 24 hours. So I've got a steady stream of books coming hot off the press, apart from they're all digital, in my world, and they all go up on my Kindle account and they just start selling. So I've written a couple myself about Amazon things years ago, but I'll talk more about that later, but they don't even have my name on. I just publish them under a pen name on topics that people are buying books on, just current topics people are interested in, got data on what's selling. I go where the money is. I put my books in front of people who are searching on those topics. So Amazon pays you after the sale, and you get about a 70% commission. So Amazon takes about 30% from each book sale, and you get the rest, and it goes straight to your bank account wherever you are in the world. Amazon takes care of all the payments and the logistics and people's forgotten email logins and credit card details expired and change of address and all that stuff. Amazon does all of that. That's what they're great at. I found it to be really recession-proof and pandemic-proof too. It's online, it's global. You're earning different currencies all around the world. You've got no kind of supply chain where your cost of goods could jump up or be out of stock or can't get space on ships for logistics. So very easy to run from anywhere. And there's so few people doing it. So it's a really hot topic for me, as of all the things you could be doing right now. I think this is the best thing to be doing online. And there are some tools that make it easier for us as well. So there's some software that helps you do the topic research, because that's obviously key to success here, is writing a book on a topic that's going to sell. You don't want to be too competitive, so something like potty training. This book here on potty training is making $1,500 a month in sales. So that's very nice for the person who spent maybe $1,000 producing that book. One here on decluttering, over $8,800. So these are just little examples to show you what's possible. The research tool there that you can see in the screenshot shows you on all the decluttering books how much different books are selling for each month. And so you've got a really good idea of what's moving, what customers are buying, what they like. So these aren't from big, famous celebrity names. These are people who've done a search for the word declutter and then bought a book, and that's just led to sales for the person selling that book. Nobody knows who the author is. They're not a world famous expert. It's not Marie Kondo. It's just somebody who's written a book on whether it's potty training, dog training. This one's selling over $1,600 a month on dog training. One on how to write, $800. And some of my books have been doing well too. So I've got one here. It sells a couple of thousand units a month, which makes me $6,251 in the last month. So that's very nice. Don't need too many books like that to live off, and that cost me only a few $100s to produce. Another one here, I sell a couple of hundred, and it makes me about $1,200 revenue a month. Another one here, this is a really cheap book that I actually got the content for it for free. So I didn't spend $1,000 getting it written for me. I actually got this content for free. I'll tell you about that later. So it sells for 90 odd cents, and it makes me $800 a month with me doing nothing, absolutely nothing on that one. So not every book you do is going to be $1 million bestseller, but if you have enough of them and build a little portfolio, maybe 5 to 10 of them making $500 a month, that gets to be a rather nice number rather quickly. A few $1,000s a month is certainly enough to start noticing and making a difference to your life. Maybe it's the difference of full-time work or part-time work, or retiring a bit sooner, or paying for a cleaner and some help at home, and all the little things that just make life a little bit nicer and better. Maybe paying for a nice holiday, upgrading your car, all the things that you'd like to do, but things are a bit tight, and you have to just keep using your time to earn more dollars otherwise. So does it all make sense so far? I'll just jump into the chat box and see how you're all going. Yeah, everything's in USD. A couple of questions in the chat box there. Yeah, all USD. Brilliant, all making sense? Brilliant. Okay, we'll carry on then. This is good. I'm going through the slides quite quickly, but I think that's good, and then we'll have a bit of time to check in with you. So, getting these books written sounds a bit daunting, but it's not. We use ghostwriters, so they're all online. They have their kind of rate cards for what size book and what the budget needs to be, but it's really common. All the top authors, the James Pattersons, all write with a co-writer who's basically a ghostwriter, and it's totally accepted practice in the industry to have ghostwriters write the books. So all the biographies of the big gurus of business and politics and whoever else write books. Children's books are written by ghostwriters. So the author name's kind of almost like a brand, and then there's a machine, a business behind that brand producing the books. So James Patterson is not writing books all day, that's for sure. So you advertise your job. I can teach you more about the platforms to hire these writers on. There's a few agencies that do it as well. And then a few weeks later, then your document comes back and you just hit the upload button. You want to use the right agencies. I have been ripped off by one that sounded very legit and was a total dodgy scam. So you need to work with the right agencies and you need to brief the writers in the right way. But it's probably in the ballpark of $800 to maybe $1,200 per book. I kind of, just as a rule of thumb, assume it's about $1,000 a book. Then another $30, $50 for the cover design. I never want to muck around doing that myself. I wanted to look really professional and have somebody really good design it. And there's a few other little miscellaneous bits and pieces, but that's the bulk of your expenses per book you produce. So I'd like to do a book and know that within a few months it's paid itself back, and after that, pure profit. So all the ghostwriters that I use are all online. I've never met any of them. I've never even had a phone conversation with any of them. I just send them an outline, one pager, they turn it around and send me back a book a few weeks later. So this one I paid $500, but it makes $332 every single month, so that's pretty good. Like by month 2 it's cleared itself and straight profit. If I had 10 of those, I'd be making $3,000 a month just doing nothing and just pure profit. This one makes it more, over $500 a month, and paid the ghostwriter for that $800, so that's cleared itself and covered itself from the upfront cost within a couple of months. Imagine taking out a mortgage on a house and 2 months later the rent's paid the mortgage off. That would be nice. So this one again, monthly sales, I sell 438 copies a month, which obviously is $1 per copy. Mathematicians here. And it cost me $765 to have that book written. So if you could pay $1,000 to have a book produced for you and you could sell it for $300 to $500 a month, would that make financial sense for you? Is that a good investment, a good return on investment, and a good passive income stream? Yeah. Lots of messages in the chat box. Yeah, I reckon that's pretty hard to beat. And also low risk. I mean, if it goes well, great. If it makes $100 a month, it's going to take a bit longer to pay back, but it's not exactly a problem. It's, you know, across the range, it's going to pay itself off within a year, and then, you know, it's producing a profit. So it's, you know, the strategy really has to be to have a bunch of books. You can't just do it off one book, but that's normal in any business. That's how you kind of scale and de-risk both at once. So I'm really happy to keep giving these writers $1,000, getting the book, uploading it, see how it goes. Most of them do what you expect. There's great data and keyword research on what people are buying. So you want to really throw your book into the pool where the fish are biting, and you want to fish where the fishing is and where the fish are biting, because otherwise you kind of publish a book on some really weird niche topic, nobody's going to buy it. But on the other hand, if you try and publish a book on ketogenic diets, it's going to be so ghastly and crowded with a million really smart marketers and big budgets and celebrities and you know just so much competition. It would be really hard to break through on that. And there's topics that just aren't appropriate if you're not an expert on the subject. Like, I'm not going to write a book on how to cure cancer or something that's just misleading and totally awful. So I kind of stick to really safe topics like hobbies and personal interest type topics. So that's how I do it. So I think the numbers are great. I like how you can start quite small and it's quite quick. And I like how I don't need to do any of the hard work myself. And hopefully this is sounding good to you too. So let's have a look at this ghostwriting bit. And also within that, how you can get books for free without even paying for a ghostwriter or writing them yourself. So one strategy I've really liked is public domain publishing. So these books have expired on the copyright. So the authors died 80 years ago, the book's 100 years old, or whatever the rules are for which books in which countries. But all the classics, the Sherlock Holmeses, the Shakespeares, they can all be published on Amazon by you and sold by you, and you don't need to pay to write the books. So they're in what's called the public domain. Their copyright's expired and anyone can use them for anything. So I sell a bunch of those on Amazon and they really add up actually, and it's been a really good part of my strategy doing that. So this one actually isn't mine, I'm just giving some examples of what I found on Amazon that's selling at the moment. But somebody's selling the works of Shakespeare for they cost them nothing to get that book. They probably just designed the cover, and it's making $874 a month. And I didn't pay a penny to write it. A bit of Nietzsche, $470 a month. Plato, $375 a month. Dostoevsky, $749 a month. These are pretty good numbers for not doing any work or any writing and just using somebody else's great work that's publicly available. So that's fun. And another strategy that's quite fun is called low content publishing. So these are things like journals or logbooks or planner diary kind of books that Amazon will print the paperback on demand when a customer orders it. So it's been kind of a fun thing I've explored a bit, these low content journals. Some of them make quite good money. I think it's definitely part of the list of options of what's possible on Amazon, but I really have focused on non-fiction books myself, so bigger, more substantial books that I can sell for more profit. So these low content things are quite fun, but it's just one thing you can do along the way on your journey. But here's one, a logbook on the anxiety check-in, so kind of a guided journal. And most of the pages are blank, so it's another good, cheap, fast way to get started. But I haven't focused on this too much. My main focus has definitely been the non-fiction books written by a professional writer. So this makes $1,500 a month, which is fantastic for the person who produced it. Brenda did a 1-minute gratitude journal. Well done, Brenda Nathan. I'm sure that's not her real name. They're all done under pen names. And it's just like a templated, simple page making $600 a month. Very nice. Look at me getting all married and shit. $1,900 a month. So with a bit of guidance, do you reckon you could write some of these books where you get the content free, or you have a journal, or you have a ghostwriter? Could you do this, do you think, if you learn the system and produce these books? You don't need to be a writer or a designer or design the covers. Everything's outsourced. Everything's a step-by-step process. If I showed you the steps, do you reckon you could follow them? Yeah, brilliant. Good stuff. Cool. So, nice to see you all active in the chat box. So you can, of course, write your own book. I've done this once or twice for my Amazon books, but years ago, and I never promoted them at all. I just popped them up on Amazon. Some of them sold reasonably well, without me doing anything or knowing what I was doing. So my Amazon Boom book, just the 2021 release of that, sold $9,431, and I did nothing to promote it. I just wrote it. That's the only one I've written, and I kind of dictated it and got someone to tidy it up and type it up. So that was not too much work on my side and cost not very much at all, a few $100 probably to produce. So that was good. So lots of possibilities on this platform. I like the non-fiction because customers are searching with a topic in mind, something they want to learn about. They want to learn about how to make sourdough bread, or they've got a problem they want to fix, so they're pretty motivated, or they've got an interest and they're looking to just learn as much as they can. So they're great customers. They're really active and want the knowledge. So a book just needs to meet their expectations. It doesn't need to be the great next American novel. It doesn't need to win the Booker Prize. It just needs to be well written with correct English by a professional writer who's researched the topic and written it up in a series of organised chapters. It's pretty easy. The book cover I never do myself. A, I'm a horrible designer, and B, it's time consuming, and C, it's really cheap. So for $50 odd, somebody will do a lovely job designing the front cover for you, which is good. But then you just upload that as an image with your book on the platform. It's really easy on the tech side of this. And then there's a third part of the program to success here, which is doing some promotions. So if you think about how people shop on Amazon, they just go to Amazon.com and then they just type in the search bar what they're looking for. And those search terms that they type in are keywords that we can analyse and look at and see how many people are searching for different keywords, and make sure we do a book on a topic that people are searching for. So that keeps a steady flow of customers in front of your books. And what's even better is you can take those keywords and tell Amazon, if anybody ever searches for that keyword, make sure you put my book in front of them. And so that's the Amazon advertising platform, which I use for most of my non-fiction books. And if somebody wants to learn how to train a puppy, if they type in how to train my puppy book, my book, I can pay Amazon a number of cents per click for that book to show in front of that customer, which massively helps my sales and profits. So those dollars spent on advertising can really pay off and help get your book to the top of the listings. So it helps rank your book too, so it helps Amazon see that people that see your book buy that book, which helps them put your book at the top of page 1. And it's really cheap usually for books, they're not terribly competitive, so the cost to advertise is quite low, and the benefit of more sales is more profit. So on some of my books, I create those ads on the Amazon advertising platform. Hardly anyone's doing this. Most authors are quite kind of wordy, nerdy types, and they're not real data hounds. They're not, aggressive business people, which makes them very nice competition for us. But it means if you want to promote one of your books, there's not really much competition of other people promoting the same sorts of books. So you can spend, say, $90 a month, $3 a day, and get an extra $300 profit a month from that little bit of ad spend. So it's an investment up front, but it pays off. It's also really measurable, which I like. When I'm promoting something, I like to measure that the promotion's working. So that one definitely works. This one again, about a 3-to-1 little money machine there. This one, about the ratio is about the same. Spend $900 to make an extra $3,500 profit a month. So if you could pay $200 and make $500, would you do it? Of course you would. It's a money machine. So it's not complicated to set those up, and you can start really small. But that's something that most people don't do with books that I've figured out is definitely worth doing. So to recap, we sell ebooks on Kindle platform. We outsource the writing, and then we promote them with some Amazon ads, and that's it. It's really simple. So we're going to change pace in a moment, and then to flick into sort of a future mode of you doing this potentially. But let's just do a little recap. So have you understood how this works? Have you seen how it works, what the process is, how Amazon makes some money when we make money? That's a really important thing, because Amazon's a great big profit machine. They do things that make money only. They're not charitable in any way at all. So when Amazon sells one of our books for $10 and they make $3, that's great for them, and even greater for us. We make $7. So it's a really good platform to be on. I've never had any issues or regrets about really committing to being an Amazon seller, whether it's products or ebooks now. I think the platform's really solid, really fair, the rules are really clear, it doesn't jump around and change. The number of things you can do to promote your book's really quite restricted. You don't have customers' email addresses, you don't have Facebook groups, so there's actually not very much to do. Amazon's taking care of putting the right customers in front of your product, so I really like that. It makes it really easy and really powerful to be there with the right product, the quality product, and in front of people who are looking for that product. So, pretty fun and pretty interesting opportunity, right? So I've done a little bit of explaining. Let's have a look now at some choices about what you could do. So you've got a few different things you could do here. So you can let's put a yes in the chat box if you want to see if I can help you fast track your success. Brilliant. Okay. Good. Okie dokie. So now I want to introduce to you a program where I've put together everything I know and everything I do as I publish my Kindle books, so that you can in the system and do the same thing yourself. So the program's called Kindle Publishing Income. It's a really simple plug and play passive income system. It teaches you how to produce these digital assets, as many as you want, as quickly as you want, and plug them into Amazon and let Amazon pay you every single month. So I'll run through the program, and it's great to see that you're all still with me, and I'll keep an eye on the chat box as we go, but hopefully I'll answer most of the questions about the program as we go through, and then we'll be wrapping up quite soon. So here we go. So the start of the program is you watching some video-based trainings, step by step, start at the beginning, implement the steps that you have to do at each level. Anyone can follow this. You don't need to be techie, don't need any skills or particular background. It's just follow the instructions, and it's all step by step and laid out for you. You can go through that in a few days and rattle through it really quickly if you've got the time and get straight into it, or you can take more time if you're busy or like learning things a bit slower, but you can go through that at your own pace. So that's the first part, the video-based training. And this really lays the foundations in Module 1. In Module 2, we get some work on mindset and getting your results flowing by setting things up the right way. In Module 3, we teach you the book topic research. That's really important. You can't get it right without the right book topic. We teach you how to get a quality book produced. We teach you how to launch and promote your book, get those sales, and then the advertising training. So all of that will teach you everything you need to know to produce a really high quality book for sale. Then we will see that when you follow that step-by-step training, that's exactly all I do. I leave nothing out. There's exactly the things I do in my own business. So it's kind of like watching over my shoulder how I do things. So if you do that, you'll be doing exactly what I do that generates me $20,000 to $30,000 a month every single month. So that part of the program would be valued in the market at, say, $2,997. And then if you're going through that and have any questions or get stuck, we have a team that is on standby to help you out. So we've got 1 year unlimited access to the expert VIP concierge team. So message away, we'll reply to you and make sure you don't get stuck or held up with any part of the training or your implementation of the training. And the value of that is $99 a month. So for a year, that's worth $1,188. And then I'm going to just do a little recap here so we keep track of all the bits of the program because there's quite a bit to it. So we've got the video training and the concierge team helping you. Now, if you run into some problems, which I did, I kind of did a few things wonkily early on until I figured out how to do them the right way. I used some bad agencies, I wasted time not writing good cover descriptions, good briefs for cover designs, all those sorts of things that I wasted time on, or things I did in an efficient way, or checklists I wish I'd written. So I can share with you writers, agencies, designers, all the resources you'll need to get started, and that'll give you a big time saving, a bit of a shortcut to finding good people and help you make more money quicker. So the cost of choosing the wrong agency or commissioning a book that's all wrong is a real waste of time and money, and you don't need to do that. So I can share that little black book with you. So that's in the list as well, valued at, say, $1,000. And sometimes a bit of hand holding is really nice as well. We're sitting behind our laptop screens on our own, waiting to get these results and working hard, and it can be a bit lonely, and it's nice just to be able to check in with somebody else and maybe have a bit of extra support. So what we do is every week we all get together, and it's either myself or my team of experts, and we do live group mastermind calls. So every week I'll be teaching something new, an update's happening here, or a trend we've noticed is this, here's a recap on that, whatever is most in need of a bit of live contact time. We do that with you once a week as well. They're all recorded, so if you're working or asleep at whatever time of day it is we do it for your time zone, you can watch the replay, and if you want to obviously just use the VIP concierge team for help with your questions, then you can still do that as well instead of. So the weekly calls are a real chance to get some hands-on help. It'll be me or coaches who are really experienced ebook sellers helping you get your results. So a bit of moral support, a bit of extra learning, keeping up to date, and also being part of the community because lots of the other students will be on that weekly call with you as well. So those sorts of people who've had success doing this and who are willing to share live all their experience and lessons and answering questions, that would be normally, say, $1,000 an hour, but you're getting that every single week live, so the value of that has to be at least $3,000 as a group setting, weekly live format. So add that to the list. So the total market value of this program, with the online video training, the help desk with the VIP team there ready to answer your questions, the black book, and the live weekly group coaching, the value of that program would be over $8,000 at least. And even at that value, it would be one of the best investments I can think of to have the skills and learning to then build one of these Kindle publishing businesses. So just as a reminder, you don't need any special skills. You don't need to be a writer or an editor or know anything about publishing or technology. There's no shipping products. One huge advantage is you don't need to store any inventory. That was always the bane of my life when I had lots of products all moving around the world, just the cost of shipping and the cost of storage, double handling everything. It's really nice we don't need to do Facebook ads or pay to do any social media stuff. I don't do any social media in this business, which is cool. You don't need your own website, and you certainly don't need to do much of the hard work yourself. Either the ghostwriters or the designers or Amazon are taking care of all the heavy lifting. So if you compared this type of business to starting a traditional cafe or hair salon, you can see some of the numbers here, how much you'd be looking at to get started with one of those, whereas $8,185 is a drop in the ocean compared to those ones, and far lower risk as well. Don't need to hire staff, don't need to sign a lease for space, all just done from home in some spare time. So no inventory, no vehicles, no equipment, no payroll, no rent, no insurance, not much time either. There's a little bit of learning up front, there's a little bit of going through the first few books a bit slower, but as you get competent at this and start speeding it up, you can really crank them out, and you're not doing much of the work yourself. So today, instead of the program costing $8,185, and I even thought about discounting it to $6,999, we've done a special deal just for today's webinar that will give you the chance to get started with this. The normal price I'm going to now put on the website, if you do it any other time than now, is going to be $4,997. But you can get started today just signing up on today's webinar for $497, and then there's four additional easy monthly payments of $497, and that's it. So a huge amount of learning and depth in that program: live contact, best practice trainings, contacts, help desk, VIP, concierge team keeping you moving. So that's the program, that's the Kindle Publishing Income Training that I've put together to help you get started with this. So there's a few more things I need to run through with you, but good to see you're all still with me. And I'll just do a recap of what's included. We've got the step-by-step video training, the VIP concierge team. Now this webinar special, you'll see a link somewhere on your screen, so that's where you can head now to click on that link that you can see and sign up and get started. So we've got the little black book, the weekly coaching calls, normally valued over to $8,000, but today just $497, and then 4 more additional monthly payments of $497. So click on the link you can see to get started. We also have a 180-day money-back guarantee. So what we really want is the right people doing this program. We want people who want to take action, and we want to discourage people coming into the program who are just going to sit there and never do anything. But what we do is say that for 180 days after joining the program, you can get 100% of your money back if you're not happy with the program. But our condition for you is that you've done the program, you've studied it, you've gone through, and you've put at least one book up on Amazon Kindle before you decide it's not for you. And if it's not for you and you've done the work, that's absolutely fine. We're really happy to give you a 100% refund, and we really back ourselves in delivering a great program. But if for any reason it's not for you, then we will very happily part it as friends, give you that full refund, and that's up to 180 days. So we take a lot of the risk on that one, not you. So there are some more bonuses which are also just for today's webinar. So if you stay focused here, because there's quite a few of them, you'll see some extra special bonuses coming up for you right away. So I know this system works, but you have to work it. You have to actually put some effort in and do the work yourself. And life can get in the way. It can be a busy old time we've built for ourselves with all the commitments and things that we've got going on. And so we really want to make sure you've got some focus and energy going into this. And so one way to get you really flying out the gates when you get started is some extra contact time. So what we've also added onto the program, and this is just a bonus for the people who sign up today, we have 3 calls with you. We want to really make sure you get off to a good start, that you found your way around. So we'll do an onboarding call to make sure you get started, and then a week later we'll check in with you and help you just make sure you're making good momentum and just check that you're implementing and you're off to a good start. Because if you don't pick it up and run with it, nothing's going to happen. You've got everything in front of you, but we really want to help you get off to a good start. So a week later we'll get in touch with you again and check in and give you a bit more encouragement and answer any questions. And then day 45, hopefully you're live and published and everything's cranking and you've got everything running smoothly, you've got your head around all the things you needed to learn. If you need a bit of help or you need to be dragged kicking and screaming along to doing the work, we will do whatever it takes to get you back on track. So if it's to celebrate, that's great. If you need some support from us, that's there as well. So that's how we just feel like we're a bit more connected with you, because we're all behind our computer screens so much in this line of work. So good to have some humans to talk to, and that helps you get better results. That's why we add this part into the program. So that's a bonus just for today's webinar only. If you're not on track for any reason, and you shouldn't be, everything's there in the program, we will come up with a personalised action plan to get you profitable as soon as possible. So I think that's everything we can possibly do to help you be successful, all the training and all the encouragement and one-on-one support to help you really pick it up and get cranking and implementing and get those results coming through. So one other thing we do is make sure you feel like you're in contact with us, the program that's delivering this, the people behind this program. We're still here, we're still in touch with you. I care about your results, my team cares about your results, and we'll be in touch with you and chasing you up to make sure you're getting the results that you signed up for. This is why you're doing it. You want to have some positive changes in your life. So if there's something that's a challenge, or you need some help, or need a personal action plan, we'll be there to do that with you. And the value of that's hundreds of dollars to you, because it's our time one-on-one helping you directly, personally get those results. So all these bonuses I'm running through now are only for today's webinar. That's really important for you to know. The total market value with the one-on-one course is over nearly $9,000, $8,934, but you can get started for just $497, then 4 more monthly payments. Now, we've got another bonus, and I'm going to start a little countdown timer for it. It's a 10-minute timer, and in this next 10 minutes, there's one extra bonus you can get. So I'm going to just head over to Google me and find the 10-minute timer. Restart it, you want every second. Go. All right, so in the next 10 minutes, this next bonus is available to you. I'm wasting seconds here mucking around with my slides. So we have got some resort rooms available for you to go and use. So when resorts have empty rooms, it doesn't make any money for them. It's a completely wasted opportunity, and they would much rather someone was in that room, even if they don't pay for the room. The hotels or resorts know that there'll be people in those rooms, off to the bar, having a massage, at the restaurant, doing whatever they do. The hotel makes some money, and they'd always rather their rooms are fuller rather than emptier. And what we've managed to get for our students is a really amazing deal, where we've partnered with a company that gives away the empty resort rooms. Now, there might be some small taxes or surcharges to pay on those rooms, and your travel to or from those resorts is on you. That's your expense to go to cover. But the rooms themselves are free for our students, and this is only the next 10 minutes. So it can be 7 nights, up to 7 nights, in any one of over 1,800 locations across 37 different countries. So you can just do a long weekend somewhere that you could drive to, or across the world and spend 7 nights in Thailand. And just to give you a little bit of inspiration, here are some of the places that you could go and stay in. So the United States, I've done a little bit of travel in the United States, but there's plenty of places here on this list I would like to go to. You can have a little skim here and see where appeals to you. I mean, if you're from the United States, the travel obviously becomes simpler and easier and cheaper, but it might be too close to home. You might prefer one of the more exotic locations coming up in a moment, but you could do something really wholesome, go to Yosemite and do some quality national parks, or Colorado Springs, or you could go to a city that you've never been to and go and eat your socks off. Where would be a good place for a good foodie trip? San Diego's got great food. What about Miami? That would be always good fun. Go and visit Ernest Hemingway's house in Florida Keys, or go and just see a part of the world you've never been to. Boston, snowy winter, just whatever you want to do. Beach holiday, family holiday, romantic getaway, time on your own even. You can choose what you do. So that's some US options. Maybe the UK, so Edinburgh is a beautiful city. Glasgow, I actually went to university in Glasgow, so I'd probably pay not to go back to Glasgow. Then I would be jumping. I think I'd go to Edinburgh. I love Edinburgh. Glasgow is a beautiful city though. It was a European city of culture, and I think I could do a map of Glasgow's all the fun stuff to do in Glasgow. It would actually be really fun to go back. It's a great city. But I was ready to leave after my 5 years of degree there. And then London is just amazing. Beautiful, beautiful city. And we've got to do it really low. Cool. So lots of places around the UK you could visit, Glasgow or London. Hawaii, who would not want to go to Hawaii right now? Doesn't matter what time of year it is, where you live, what you're interested in. Hawaii is just a beautiful place to go for a lovely holiday. Where else might you want to go? What about Australia? So I live just across from Australia, a few hours flight, and I've done some of these spots, and I love going to Australia. So I'm not sure where I would go right now, but quite fun for you guys thinking about it. Where would you go if you had just free accommodation at any one of these places? Byron Bay's gorgeous. Gold Coast's great for a lazy holiday of beaching and golden sand and really fun place. Melbourne's gorgeous. You could go and do a road trip from a base, go to the far north, go up to Darwin. Where else? Adelaide, love South Australia. Perth, go off for a day trip to Rottnest Island. Sydney, oh, love Sydney. So anyway, loads of options there, but obviously this is only for the next 10 minutes. Let me just check my little timer. What's going on here? How are we going on the timer? Oh, 5.5 minutes. All right, better get cracking if you want this free accommodation. Okay, so New Zealand. So you can come and visit me. So I live in the middle of absolutely nowhere, in a very small town, maybe 6,000 people where I live. But you could go and have a holiday in Auckland, which is a beautiful city on the water. Lovely restaurants, sailing on the harbour, beautiful, beautiful city, Bay of Plenty, lovely golden beaches, Christchurch is gorgeous. Dunedin is just fab. I'm actually going to Dunedin this weekend. It's my closest town, closest city. Marlborough, great wine country. Wellington, the little capital that they go on and on about because the Lonely Planet Guide voted it the coolest capital in the world or something. So great city to visit. Although I lived there for 12 years, so I can go somewhere else. But all sorts of beachy ones, city ones, rural. That's New Zealand there. So fun times. So great to have an opportunity to have a free holiday. Got some spots here in Canada as well. I've never spent much time in Canada, but I'd love to go. Have a holiday in Whistler in the winter, get some skiing in, or go somewhere a bit sunnier and beachier, get out on the water. Ottawa would be fab. Yeah, I feel like I need a holiday looking at all these. So anyway, lots of options for you. So if you want to go somewhere a bit warmer than Canada, then there's always Asia, Bali, Singapore. Bali's sort of recently reopened up and tourist time is back on. We'll go somewhere in Thailand, Phuket, or Bangkok. Fab, some great options there for a holiday. So make sure you click on that link you can see, and while the time is still running, you get those bonus resort days added to your coaching program. And then we've got some Europe spots as well. We must be just about out of time on that timer. But we've got Vienna, Cannes, South of France, Crete, Santorini, it sounds rather good right now, Barcelona, Rome, amazing, Milan. And there's loads more as well. That's just to give you a little sampler of what's out there. So really cool thing about having an online business is you can travel and you can be anywhere in the world running your business. So here's a little gift from us to you, a bonus that will just make the opportunity to take this program and do this learning also come with a lovely opportunity for a holiday. Now let's have a quick look at this timer. We must be just about out of time. 2 and a bit minutes. Okay. Well, I'll keep going through the slides and I'll probably start pinning when we're done. Alright, so if you ever struggle to make a decision and you're having a hard time working out whether this is for you or not, well, here's a thing that I like to do. I like to fast forward 2 years from now and really think about your worst case scenario. Like, what's the very worst thing that could happen with this decision you're about to make? So it's a tricky thing to make a big decision in life. And these decisions, like the reason you're here today, you obviously want to make some changes in your life. But what do you actually want, and what's the cost, and what's the risk, and what's the benefit, and what's the dream of the future ideal? But while it's nice to think about what's possible and great, some of us are just wired and want to worry about what could go wrong. So I guess the worst case scenario here is that you sign up to this program, and if you've signed up to the bonus with the free holiday, you still get that program, the resort trip, as well as the program. But if the program's not for you, you launch your book, you decide it's not for you, you get your full money back. The very worst case is a free holiday, and you've learned something, and then you've had all your money back. So that's 2 years from now, the worst case scenario, which is a bit pessimistic to start with, but still a pretty good outcome for the worst case is possible. The best case scenario, though, could be awesome. It could be financial freedom, a business you're really proud of, you've had a wonderful holiday, now you live on permanent holiday. There's a lot of exciting stuff out there in the future if you get this right, and if you put the work in, and if you jump on it now. But what's certain is that if you do nothing, nothing changes, nothing ever happens. So while it's a bit of a leap into the unknown, you've got the assurance of the 180-day money-back guarantee, you've got me and my team checking in with you, you've got really quality, fully comprehensive training program to give you the very best chance of success with this Kindle publishing strategy. So I'm really proud of the program. It's got everything in that you need to know, that I do, and that is best practice. Everything's within Amazon's terms of service. So this is the very best chance of success, I believe, for you to do well publishing books on Amazon and generating a new income stream. So all going to plan, you would jump on the program, you would enjoy your holiday, you'd start producing books, you'd start seeing income, and you'd be so glad, looking back, that you made that decision today to do this. So if that's you and you're ready to jump on it and be the person looking back in a year or two going, I'm so glad I got started, then click on the Get Started button now. So you'll see the link somewhere on your page. It depends how you've got your laptop or computer set up. But there's the timer. All right. So that's annoying. Stop that. How do I get rid of that? Okay. All right. Back to science. So the potential of the good version of what can happen here is you get some books up and selling, and you make some passive income month after month after month, and that's a really cool thing that you've done for yourself and changed your future for the better, and really given you a leg up in life. It's more income, it's buying your time back, it's something that's really satisfying, it's a really good feeling to do something that works and something that's successful, and that's a really addictive feeling, that feeling of success. And then you'll have plenty of motivation to keep doing more books and just incrementally making changes in your life, reducing your work hours. You might upgrade some things in your life. So the impact of having that new income stream is huge. It could be more travel, more of these holidays that you might have been getting a taste for. Now the world's opened back up, the long haul travel's back on, and everybody's moving, and it's really fun to explore the world. Like, those experiences are what life's all about. You might upgrade your car, or do some home improvements, something you've been meaning to do to your home and make that nicer. Maybe something around your children, maybe education for your children's covered, and that's a real gift that you only get to go through once. Maybe it's a more charitable thing. Maybe you want to support a cause, or spend time or donate money to a charity that you're now able to do that you couldn't do when you were working hand to mouth. So that can be really gratifying stuff too. Maybe you change house, or do some, fancy stuff to make your house more comfortable or luxurious. That's always nice. And then, everybody's kind of got different values here, and yours will be completely individual, and always interested to hear how people tick and what motivates them. My idea of fun is being at the beach with my kids, riding my horse. We do all sorts of cool trips around the place. We go off in helicopters and little planes up into the hills. That's obviously not going into the mountains though, because we've got a dress on, but we go and do like little flights around where we live, and it's really, really fun. And so I get to travel lots, I get loads of time with my children. I'm pretty much the only mum on the school run because everyone else is picked up by a nanny, and I've got loads of time with my children. I've got time to do outdoor sports. I ski in the winter, I've got a horse, go boating on the lake, so just all the things that kind of look like a millionaire's lifestyle, but are on your doorstep really. You just need time, or to live in the place you want to live, to do them. So I'm not really a big city girl. I love having on holidays in cities, but I actually love living in the country. But where I live, there's no jobs at all. Like, I can never get employment here that's a fraction of what I earn online. Plus I'd have to work all those hours for someone else. So I love just being online. I love designing my days. I like going for a run when it's sunny. I like to go skiing when the conditions are good. You know, can choose what time of day I walk the dog, because I just look at the weather forecast and the clouds and the rain and when it's sunny, and eat when I want. And you know, I just really design my days exactly as I like them every single day. And in the morning I see everyone traipsing off to work, and you know, I don't need to do that. I get to sit at home and have a coffee and, you know, go through my day at my own pace. So compared to your worst case scenario and the benefit of the best case scenario, there's a big gap between those two, and that's in your decision right now whether you do this at all, and then how your attitude is, and whether you're ready to actually do this and get started and actually do the work. So it's not that much work. I'd say maybe an hour a day or something to get started, and then less once you're up and running. So I think it's totally worth the risk, but it's up to you, and what your reason for being here today is, what motivates you to be on a webinar like this an hour or so later, listening to me talk about these things. There's obviously something that keeps you here that's interesting you about this opportunity, but we will keep running through these slides, and some people don't ever even do this. You know, they've sat here and heard about the opportunity, but for some reason they think of a reason or an excuse why it's not for them. And so everybody's wired a little bit differently. They've got stories in their heads, they've got messages they've picked up from their parents, or they've got family members or people they work with or friends who sort of have little loops of language or patterns in their brain that go on that really just stop people taking action. You know, there's a lot of negativity when you're thinking about doing something positive. I remember when I told people I was starting my Amazon business, loads of people told me, don't do it. You know, it's a scam, it's not going to work, you better just stick with your day job, you might get promoted one day. But I'm so glad I did, because I took that risk and it worked and it paid off, and I did some work and I got good results. And all those people kind of wanted to protect me. It wasn't malicious or anything, it was just like they were worried I was going to waste my time or money on something where I should just be busy looking after my children and keeping my day job secure. But having done a lot of coaching students over the years and seen lots of different sort of ways people work and the way they operate, everybody's wired so different. You can't really change how you're wired in some ways. But I can see a huge difference between the people who, there's sort of two types of people. There's people who are good at making money, and then there's people who are good at making excuses. And the people that make excuses are brilliant at it. They think of really legitimate excuses. Oh, I definitely don't have the time, I definitely don't have the money. But time for some tough love here. If you haven't got the time or haven't got the money, why are you here? You know, what brings you to this webinar today and to still be on it right now? So there's obviously something that you want that you haven't got right now that you want to have, that's possible by having a successful online business. So I'd like to kind of make you really think deeply about the excuses you might be making about why you're not doing this. So you know, there's a moment where you have to take a decision and press that button or the link to get started. If you're worried about the money side, we obviously do this in order to have more money in the future. So there's an investment in yourself and developing your skills, and then through implementing those skills, you've got then the opportunity to earn through selling these ebooks and generating more income. But there'll still be people on this call who aren't getting started yet, who are making excuses. So don't be one of the people that makes excuses and be good at that. Be one of the people that's really good at making money, that just banishes those excuses, changes the language in your mind, and starts thinking more positively about the future, feeling confident in yourself that you can do this. You've got a system that shows you that you've got support, that encourages you and keeps in contact with you to help you actually do this and do it well and do it the right way. So if you're still thinking that you're kind of on the fence and you're busy making 15 excuses why you can't do it, then I don't know what can we do to help you make that leap into the positive step into building your future. So I'd like to not go into battle with you on excuses, because you'll be great at coming up with excuses why not to, but I can give you lots of good reasons about why this is a really, really smart move to make for yourself, and how if you have the attitude that you want to learn, you want to implement, you want to have a better future, then everything you need to do that is in this program. So if you're on the divide of being good at making excuses why not to do it, and then how to be good at making money. Choose the path of making money, and then your world will be much more positive in many ways. So that time has been and gone, so I don't need to worry about that slide. But it's definitely time to get off the fence. So we want to really help you be successful. You've got the link there to get started. And I can see in the chat box that lots of you already jumped on that, so congratulations. Nice to see that you're ready to roll, and we're all here ready to help you. So in a moment I'll explain what happens when you do sign up. But there's a couple of other bonuses I want to give you as well. We've got unlimited access for you for the research tool I use to do my book topic research. So that's going to save you hours of time, keep you on track for choosing good book topics and away from the too quiet or too crowded areas on Kindle. So that's a really good bonus that'll help you get results and save time. So that's added onto the program as another bonus only for today's webinar. We've got a few questions I'm sure people want answered as well. How much can I make and how long? Well, it really just depends on how fast you go through the training and how long it takes you to start implementing. You can really ramp up the pace on this, so it's kind of unlimited if you want to put lots of time and lots of budget into doing lots of books quickly. But I'd say just do one book and focus on training for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two to produce your first book. Depends how fast you work with your writer and how long it takes you to make some decisions. But really, you could be up and selling in a couple of months. And each book I produce, I aim to make at least a few $100s a month, maybe more. So as long as you build up a portfolio of 5 or 10 books, that might take you a few months. So it's not years, and it's not taking you very many hours each week to get those books out the door. So quite variable. The additional expenses, the main one's obviously the ghostwriter. That's maybe $1,000 per book, maybe 800, maybe 1,200, but somewhere around there. And then the cover design might be $30 or $50. Then there's a little bit of advertising spend. There might be a little bit of formatting here and there, but really very light other costs. There's nothing major that I've not mentioned. There's a few little bits and pieces here and there, but that's pretty much it. And if you're worried about the lack of opportunity here, don't be. There are so few people doing this. There are so many people buying books, and the ebook market's growing really fast, and so there's plenty of room for plenty of people to sell as many books as they can produce. There's 240 million ebooks sold a month, and most of those sellers are not smart business owners, promoting them efficiently and writing books for the market. They're just writing their own memoirs or, really niche subjects. So what we teach you works, and there's plenty of demand for it. There's never been a lower competition business opportunity that I've ever come across. So plenty of room for all of us to do as many books as we possibly can. Now, I've got another bonus here, which is something I mentioned briefly before, but this is the public domain strategy, which is where I can give you some training on finding those old copyright expired books that are the old classics and teaching you how to launch those, because you don't actually need to then pay for any writing either. So that's another bonus for today, the public domain training, and that would be valued at $997 if we sold it just on its own. So public domain masterclass, that's added to the program just for today. It's a bonus. Now this program is not a cost. This isn't a thing you're going to buy today and it's something expensive you've done. I mean, there is a cost, but it's actually an investment because you've put money into yourself that has an expected potential return. And that's the difference between shopping, which has costs and expenses, but an investment gives you a return. And what you're buying today is the skills and the tools and the training to give you a new income stream when you implement it. So if you're ready to get started, click on the link and you'll hopefully be about to make the smartest investment of your life. So another bonus, this is again another thing we mentioned earlier on, the low content books, all those journals and logbooks that you can sell online on Amazon that don't even have any writing in them. So you have a templated checklist or logbook or gratitude journal, those examples I showed you. You can produce one of those in an afternoon with some training. So we've got a bonus training that shows you how to come up with the ideas and research if they'll sell, maximising the sales and much more. So that's a really cool little extra bit of training. It's only part of the bigger picture. It's not the main game, but it's a nice little extra for you to have a play with as part of what you do on the Kindle platform. Alrighty, so that Fast Start bonus is valued at $997, and we'll add that in today as well for free. So, little quote here from Benjamin Franklin: if you do tomorrow what you did today, you'll get tomorrow what you got today. So you really need to make some changes in your life, otherwise you're on this very predictable path. You'll be in the same desk in the same office years from now, and it's maybe time to jump at an opportunity and do something different for your own future. So click on the link that you can see and make your tomorrow different from what you've got today. Now, there's a few extra things we do to increase the sales and the profit even more with this strategy. So one thing I do is make sure that every ebook I produce, I also flip into paperback format and audiobook format. So we'll give you some training as well as another bonus on how to generate 2 more income streams for every book, and that's valued at $997. If you've got any issues with the link or going through the checkout process to join the program, just ping us an email, customersupport@knowledgesource.com.au, and we'll be able to help you with any questions there. All right, so we're up to lots of bonuses. $11,000 odd of value there, but you can get started for just $497. So who's on the fence? Are you dithering? Are you wobbling about this decision? Are you already in? If so, let us know. So if you're on the fence, just pop a yes in the chat box and we'll see if we can help you make a good decision. Cool. So getting paid another way for the same bit of work is to also get your books translated. So rather randomly, I have some Italian language books doing super well at the moment, and it didn't cost me very much to have them translated. I can teach you how to hire a translator. It's not an expensive thing to do, but it can really add to the bottom line of profits. So we'll add that in as another bonus. And so if you're not going to do this program, what will you do instead? Have you got another opportunity or something else? Or will you just keep doing what you're currently doing? Or is it the timing? If it's something that you don't feel like doing now, but you know, you're going to wait till money's better or time's better, you know, these limiting things that can hold us up, they never change. You know, you have to actually take the bull by the horns and command your time, demand that your world changes by changing the resources you give to different things. So you might decide, I'm going to spend a couple of hours a week or 4 or 5 hours a week doing this. I'm going to put some money into it and to make sure I get a result. But if you just wait for everything to be quiet or wait for a windfall of cash to start something new, nothing will ever change. Now, there's another tool that I use to help get my book selling, which is getting reviews. And there's legal and ethical ways to get good reviews, and we've got a nice community here where we can help as we launch a kind of a launch club. And so as a member of this community, that will be a huge boost to your book sales. And that little community that will help you with reviews and getting your book off to a really quality start is valued at $1,164. So that's added to the program as well. Oh, I've got a blank slide for some reason. Okay, not sure why that was there. Anyway, what we'll do, we're pretty close to wrapping up. Now, I've decided that, we must be getting quite close to the end, but that resort bonus, the free holiday that we offered earlier on, I'm actually going to just run that timer again, the last 10 minutes, and if you've already signed up, you've already got that bonus, great, you've got it, don't worry, everything's going to carry on as you were. But if you haven't got it yet, I actually feel like we might just start that timer again, give you another 10 minutes, and that's it. Then you can, alright, okay. Last chance to get the holiday also included, that resort. The free rooms are included if you get this program today. So in the next 10 minutes, before the timer goes off, you will see that as you register, we'll take a note of what time you registered, and you'll get the free resort rooms and that lovely holiday added to the program. Okay, so we're up to total market value of $12,889, only $497 to start today. Now, if there's any questions, you can pop them in the chat box and we can try and get to them, but there's lots of people on the call and I'll try and kind of cover the main and common questions as we go. So lots of questions I might have for you. Why are you on this webinar? What was on your mind? What motivated you to spend some time learning about a new opportunity? What interests you about selling ebooks and the digital assets that you can put on Amazon? And And why are you still here? I'd love to know kind of what you're enjoying about it or what motivates you about this opportunity. And I'd love to know what you're going to do about it. You know, what's the big reason that you want to have a new income stream, and what are you going to do about it? Are you going to do some work and make this happen? Or are you going to let this one slip by and then maybe you regret it later? But I do think it's a good time to just stop and reflect. If you've joined the program, congratulations, you've made a really smart choice and we're going to help you really have the very best chance of success possible. If you're still here and haven't got started, what's on your mind and what's holding you up? Are you able to generate new income another way? Is it something else that you're thinking of doing or waiting to line up, the stars to align so that the timing's right? Or have you got some excuses that may be legitimate or may just be loops in your head about why you're not taking action? But I'd really like you to just stop and think, if you haven't got started, why is this not happening yet? What's going on? What is it that's making you think you can't be successful or that this isn't right for you? There must be a million reasons that I don't want to, go into battle on, because if there's one good reason, it's that this is a great opportunity to generate a new income stream, but there's a million negative reasons and excuses why you wouldn't do it. And as I said before, having coached thousands of people with Amazon training over the years, there's really just two types of people: people that are good at making excuses and people that are good at making money. And the people that are good at making money are making decisions to join this program right now. Okay, so you can't be good at both, and certainly the people that are successful in business don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, I don't think I feel like doing that work today, or they don't make excuses of I can't do this because whatever reason. People can fall into a real loop of just making excuses, but the people that want to make money always find reasons to keep going and find the motivation and get going. And the community we built is full of the people that are good at making money and got the right attitude and the right mindset towards building up their skills, making the decisions and just getting out there and doing it. So, time to do it, time to make a decision. So the time is still running for the free holiday. An opportunity for you to reach out and make this decision and get started. So click on the link if you're ready to go. Reminder there that you've got the 180-day money back guarantee. We really want you to be successful. We really want you to actually follow the program and do the work. So the way that we've organised this refund, it's a really long time period. And it gives you plenty of time to do the work, which we think is really important. And then if it's not for you, that's fine. We'll give you a full refund and we'll go our separate ways and be friends. But there's a recap here of what's included in the program. We'll do one last run through and then we must be pretty close to wrapping up. So the video training, the VIP concierge team, little black book, the weekly group coaching calls. So that'll be everything you need to know right there. And then there's a bunch of bonuses on top of the guarantee. So we've got the 3 one-on-one touch point check-ins that my team will ring you, will talk with you about your game plan, how you're going, what help you need, make sure you're on track and support you along the way. The Niche Finder software is priceless. That'll save you hours of time and help you pick good book topics the right way. The public domain masterclass, the low content masterclass, the Audible and paperback training, the foreign language international profit training, the Facebook group for your launch, and the total value of that's nearly $13,000, but you can get started for just $497, and then there's 4 more additional monthly payments of $497. So you'll see the link on the page to click to get started. Now, I think this might be my last slide, because if you have decided to get started, then a huge welcome. I'm looking forward very much to seeing you on the next live call, and you'll be looking forward to jumping into the training and getting started with that. And I'm going to just stop my screen share. Actually, no, I'll leave that email address up for a few more minutes. So if you have just started and signed up, congratulations. You can expect an email from us very soon with your login details, and you'll get your welcome call very soon, and you'll be on your way, which is very, very exciting for you. If you need to contact us about anything, customer support at knowledgesource.com.au. That is the email address for my team, and we'll make sure you've got everything you need and answer any questions, and we'll show you where everything is on the program and get you off to a really cracking start. So maybe Aisha, if you just drop that email address in the chat box as well, that's easier than people typing it if they've got any questions. But so nice to see you all signing up and getting started. Lots of you made the leap, and that's very exciting, and congratulations. All right, I will stop my screen share there. Brilliant. Who have we got still here? Great to see in the chat box. I just got back to full screen again. So congratulations, Olga. Lots of people there. Who else? Flavia, brilliant. Doug, good stuff. You're in. Excellent. So lots of people joining. Really, really cool to see. Brilliant. So enjoy those holidays, folks, who've signed up. I don't think we need that timer running anymore. That was a bit of a, 3 minutes to go. It'll ping in a minute, so I'll just stop it. So we'll definitely honour the free holiday on that second offer I did as well. Just, we did it twice. So whether you signed up in the first wave or the second, you'll definitely get that free holiday if you sign up on today's webinar. But this is going to be a really fun opportunity. I've loved having a Kindle publishing business. It's been the easiest, most fun, most lucrative, lowest competition online business that I've done and that I think's out there. And it's been great talking to you about it today. So I think we're just about done for the day. You've all hung in there on quite a long presentation. That was a lot of slides. So thank you very much for your time and commitment turning up today and listening to that. I'm going to go and do some more work on my book business now. I've got so many books in production and I just love churning them out, loading them up and seeing the profits grow month on month. And it's been just a really good thing that I was grateful I did when COVID hit and everything went a bit to custard about what we were going to do in the world, flights, supply chains, all the other bits of my business. I was like, oh, this could change quickly. This is a bit alarming. What are we going to do? And I just pivoted straight into purely digital. It made sense for a pandemic and a recession kind of period, but it's been great ever since still, and it's really growing month on month. The opportunity is huge. Ebooks are absolutely cranking. And it's just been a really smart place to be, I think. Of all the online platforms, Amazon, I believe, is the best because all the customers are there and they're not distracted with social things. They're just there to shop. And I really like that Amazon makes it easy for us and they make money when we make money. And I like that these digital assets you only create once, so the profit margins double any products I've ever sold. It's double the profit margin. So really, really attractive business model, really low maintenance and low risk for you, both getting started and running it. And love to see you all in the program. So congratulations, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for your time today, and we'll see you all very soon. So thank you again, and goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Sophie. I'll just drop that link in one more time. And we look forward to seeing you join the program. Thanks, everyone. Bye, Sophie.